Welcome to the StockOdds Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Noble. Our listeners know that trading is challenging. They want ideas. They want to know when and how to hedge. They want to increase performance and lower risk at the same time. We answer those requests by focusing on the odds of the trading game. Operate like the casino, not the uninformed player. Trade with a positive expectation and insulate yourself from those blind sides the market whacks traders with. I'm here with my co-host, Rob Friesen, and Steve Arlinsky. How are you doing today, Steve?
I'm good.
Good. That's good to hear. What first attracted you to the stock market?
The first thing, actually, it's the fact that I didn't have to dress up to go to work. I didn't have to wear a suit, and just the freedom of independence of working and basically and doing what I wanted to do.
Nice. That's definitely an attractive feature of day trading. What was your first stock trade?
First stock trade. Well, it's been a long time. I don't really remember the first trade, but I started doing pairs. So I was trading something like Chevron versus Exxon, Fannie versus Freddie, DD Dow. Those were the first pairs I started to trade, and I learned how to trade based on those things back in the day.
Nice. Are there any details regarding applying those trades in the markets that were interesting to you?
I was basically trying to learn how to trade. I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know what a bid was. I didn't know what an offer was. So I was just trying to practice and basically understand how the execution works, where the montages are, where things go, and just try to follow the chart. So I had a chart set up. It seems so foreign now, how things used to be, but it's basically used to have a chart of two stocks netted against each other, and then looked at the net difference of this the spread for the day and tried to trade them based on the net value of the spread.
So is that your dominant strategy, pair trading, building a spread chart and trading that to zero?
Dominant strategy, but yes, everything's pretty much based off that. Now I do pair trading, more like basket trading, where do a lot of different industries mixed together, one versus the other, and pretty much everything is based on pair trading. Yes.
Interesting. What were your previous work experience before you got into trading or before you even started trading?
I was a pension actuary. I was math and statistics major coming out of college, and I started as a pension actuary. Actually, ExxonMobil was one of the biggest clients back in the day. I worked as a pension actuary for about five years, and finished all of my exams except for one. So I was almost a FSA, which is a Fellow Society of Actuaries, and then I quit and decided to start to try my hand in trading.
Yeah. So how long have you been trading for now?
Well, it's coming up on 20 years almost. I started trading in May of 2001. Actually, I went to Bright Trading School in February of 2001, took my Series 7, and then started trading in May of 2001.
Amazing. How long were you trading retail before you went professional there?
I was not trading retail at all. I was basically, like I said, I was a pension actuary. So my knowledge of trading was limited to basically opening up my Ameritrade account and buying a stock or two. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Did you take a specific pair trading course, or how did you get started in the professional world?
A friend of mine tried to encourage me to take up trading, and I was always very hesitant because I thought I had a great job and a career as an actuary and stuff. But then one day I finally agreed to come by and visit him, and I walked into the office and I saw these guys running around, screaming, yelling. I think that was actually probably the summer of 2000. Yeah, it had to be the summer of 2000. That's when AOL Time Warner came into existence. That was the first major pair trading, first big merger and first pair trading opportunity where everybody learned how to do pair trading. AOL Time Warner. So I kind of looked at it and I decided that this can be something I can do. I think it was summer of 2000.
That is very interesting. That was it turned out to be one of the worst mergers in history.
Well, yes,
AOL merger.
20 years later, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how pair trading, I think, kind of started out, because they were just making a killing trading it all day long. The volume was insane. Computers didn't exist. Oh, it did exist, but it wasn't the computer dominated world, and everybody was doing pair trading. All Time Warner.
How did you move on to gaining consistent success in the market from your early days?
Um, it's a tricky question. It's basically when I realized that trading is just like any other job. You take home what you make, and if you treat it as a job, then just like any job, how you become successful with any job, you practice, and then you learn things, and that's it. And then one day it just clicks.
How do you like trading the markets right now?
Right now, actually things are more or less calm, considering what we had the past month and a half, 2 months, which was basically insane. The VIX at 80. I've never seen anything like this. But now it's more or less normal, where things actually make more or less sense.
Oh, I know. It's really crazy how fast we went from volatility to a crazy VIX number to now. How was trading a month ago?
It was very volatile, very exhausting. Sometimes you just you entrench yourself into something and you just can't get out of it. So it's kind of hard to sleep sometimes. But it's a job, and if you treat it as a job, you just you look at it as, you wake up, you go to work, you do what you have to, you finish your day, and then you go have dinner.
Yeah. Then you get the research is done for the next day, and then you just move on.
Yeah, you prepare for the next day, then you wake up the next day, do the same thing all over again, and go the next day.
Yeah, maybe a day off on a weekend, but then you got to start doing research again.
Sure.
So would you say that volatility is something that you personally like to trade in, or do you like to trade in more of a calm sideways market?
Of course, volatility is what we always crave for, because that's how you can make money. Instead of grinding for 10 cents, volatility presents an opportunity to make more than 10 cents.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the markets, when it's volatile, you try to make more than 10 cents, which is, the opportunities are there, so you can do it.
Yeah. So I guess you would say that pair trading from Rob Friesen's lesson there is your dominant strategy?
Yes. Well, everything I do is based on pair trading. So just because I don't particularly trade a specific pair, I trade like baskets and stuff. But everything is pair trading. Everything, you buy a stock and you get hedged with something else, whether it's ETF, whether it's another stock from a similar industry, maybe from a different industry. But yes, I learned from Bright's trading school when I went there, and then I learned from Rob's seminar, and then Rob had a partner, I think his name was Steve Slavin. Yeah. He was someone who I talked to a lot, and he introduced me to a lot of the concepts back in the day. So
yeah, and then you just expanded from there.
Yes.
Okay, so from your experience, from your personal experience becoming a trader and watching people around you become successful, I'm assuming a lot of people started around the same time you did, so you had a lot of shared experiences. What would you say is the biggest ingredient for someone to become a successful trader?
Biggest ingredient. Honestly, I think if you have to treat it as a job, it's basically a full-time job. It's something you can't do part-time. It takes years of practice, and you treat it as a job, and eventually it will become you'll become successful at it. So I treat it as a job, and that's it.
Yeah, just consistency and compoundability, and just going for it.
Yes, it's a job. It's a business. It occupies you 100%, and it's not a hobby.
Yeah. What would you say is your most memorable trade?
Oh, that is easy. That's an easy question.
Oh yeah.
June
Okay.
June 2001, Goldman Sachs gets added to S&P 500. Upticks $12 in the close. I am a rookie. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was told to put orders in the book, and he upticks $12. I have 3,000 shares short in the book at $12, and I make $20,000 because I covered them early in the after hours. I should have waited until next Monday morning. But I made $20,000, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was ecstatic. It was just the best weekend I've ever had. I remember that.
That's a great story.
Goldman Sachs upticks in the close. Yeah, things like this don't happen anymore. Machines took away all the edges. Tape reading doesn't exist anymore. But back in the day, those things were very evident. Let me just say one thing. I learned how to trade by reading the tape. You asked me a question beforehand. Tape reading was very important. So when you just sat there and you started the computer screen and you read the tape, you saw the offers, you saw specialists, you saw big prints, you saw different market participants coming in, coming out, and stocks moved based on that, and you can predict the movement. Those edges are gone nowadays.
It seems like everything has just been taken over by high frequency traders and algorithms front running each other. Markets have gotten way too efficient.
Yeah, I don't know about high frequency trading, but yeah, definitely algorithms that control the flow of the stocks, in the market.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of edges are gone, and there's only real opportunity in good pair baskets, really, as a trader, unless you want to take big bets on swings.
Oh yeah, then it becomes nothing, but it's not a job then.
Yeah, you're gambling at that point.
Then it's not a job. It's just gambling.
Do you personally use stop losses?
No, the only stop losses I use are the mental ones, and sometimes they don't work. So the biggest problem you can do to yourself is when you get married to a position and then you think you know more than the market. And when you think that's the case, then you get punished. So I don't have any physical stop losses, but usually I just do the mental stop loss and I try to execute it to the best of my ability.
Yeah. So how would you say that joining Bright Trading and becoming a professional and gaining consistent success with this has affected your life compared to if you didn't go into this career?
Well, okay, it's a two-part question. First one is joining Bright was one of the best things I've done back in the day because I didn't know Bob, I didn't know anyone, and once I got to talk to them at the seminar, the class I went to, I used to admire Bob. I think he's one of the smartest traders I've ever met. And how did it change my life? In fact, I think it's actually the opposite. I think it taught me how to manage stress. So trading taught me how to manage stress. So no matter how stressful your trading is, how occupied you are with it, it just there's bigger things in life that you have to worry about, and and then there's real world problems that people have, and just because you have a bad day at trading doesn't mean your life is over. So it's just trading is just a job.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. That stress threshold you learn from it. It sounds like it's very advantageous.
It's just a job. I mean,
yeah,
there's bigger issues that people have in life than stress.
Yeah. So, Rob, is there anything you'd like to add here?
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed listening to both you guys and Steve. It's just been an absolute pleasure to have you in the firm and all that you've contributed to our business and to other people as well. So I know you've helped people that came your way from time to time. So really, really appreciate that. And just to see the consistency over the years is truly what it's about. And I think it, goes back to how you've treated it as a very serious business and a very serious career. And like you said, a job that, this is what you do every day, day in and day out. And I think that's a great way to put it. Sometimes, people use all kinds of other buzzwords, to describe why they're successful. But I think just that work ethic of this is what I do, this is what I'm committed to, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability every day. And it's tough in an environment where, it's not like, building a house. Once you build it, it's sort of there. This is like in flux all the time. There's always new events and new surprises and, things beyond your control, and to manage it. It just reminds me of kind of herding cats, like, to manage that environment. And I think your long and short hedge trading certainly helps with managing these cats. But anyway, it's just really been a pleasure to have you in the firm. So thank you again for that and for your time here on this interview. Appreciate it.
Rob, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Have a good day trading there. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Cheers. Thanks again. Bye. StockOdds is a stock market database and education platform. Visit stockodds.io for more information.